you just finished a simple dinner. It wasn't a large meal, it wasn't even spicy, but within 20 minutes, your stomach swells up like a tight, uncomfortable balloon. A sharp, burning pain starts to creep up the center of your chest. You sigh, open your medicine cabinet, and reach for that familiar chalky pink liquid, or you pop that little white antacid pill you keep on your nightstand. You pray for just a few hours of relief before the heartburn wakes you up again at 2 a.m. You think this is just a normal part of getting older. You think your digestion is simply wearing out. You are entirely wrong. My name is Eleanor Ruth Caldwell. I am 101 years old. I do not have heartburn. I do not have bloating. I do not suffer from constipation, and I can eat a heavy, rich meal of roasted meat and vegetables right before bed and sleep like a baby. 30 years ago, when I was 71, I took every single bottle of antacids, every pink liquid, and every prescription acid blocker in my house, and I threw them straight into the garbage can. And today, I am going to tell you the massive medical lie you have been sold about your digestion and exactly how I healed my gut permanently. Let me tell you what happens when you go to the doctor complaining about heartburn and indigestion as an older adult. They run a quick test. They pat you on the shoulder, and they tell you that you have too much stomach acid. They tell you that your acid is splashing up and burning your esophagus. So, what do? They prescribe you a pill to neutralize or completely stop your stomach from producing acid. It sounds logical, doesn't it? If there is a fire, put out the acid, but it is a catastrophic biological lie. As we get older, our bodies do not produce more stomach acid. We produce significantly less. By the time you are 65, your stomach acid production has dropped drastically. Do you know what happens when you eat a piece of meat or a plate of food, and your stomach does not have enough strong boiling acid to break it down? The food just sits there. It sits in your warm stomach and it begins to rot. It ferments. It produces harsh trapped gases, and that massive bubble of rotting gas expands, pushing upward, forcing whatever tiny bit of acid you do have left straight up into your throat. Your heartburn is not caused by too much acid. It is caused by too little acid and a stomach full of fermenting, undigested food. And what does the modern medical industry tell you to do? They tell you to take a pill that turns off your acid completely. You are literally turning off your body's ability to digest food, absorb nutrients, and kill dangerous bacteria. You are starving yourself of nutrition while your stomach stays full. When I was 71, I was trapped in this exact cycle. I was eating bland crackers, plain toast, and taking antacids like candy, and I was still in agonizing pain every night. I was losing weight and my energy was gone. So I stopped listening to the men in the white coats, and I started remembering how my great-grandmother lived. I went back to the old ways, the bitter ways modern society is addicted to sweet things. Everything we eat is coated in sugar, masked in artificial syrups, and ultra-processed to be soft and sweet. We have completely eliminated the one flavor profile that actually turns on our digestive engines: bitterness. 30 years ago, I started a new daily ritual. 15 minutes before every single heavy meal, I took 1 tablespoon of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar, and I mixed it into a small glass of water. I drank it down. It was sharp, it was sour, it made my lips pucker, and it was pure magic. That bitter, sour liquid sent an immediate emergency signal to my brain and my stomach. It told my body, "Wake up, food is coming, turn on the digestive fires." It naturally stimulated my own stomach to produce the strong, healthy acid it needed. Then, I started eating real, living, fermented foods again. I bought raw, unpasteurized sauerkraut, the kind that is still bubbling with good bacteria. I ate a small forkful with my dinner. I drank real sour kefir. I reintroduced the ancient natural bacteria that human beings have eaten for thousands of years before we invented refrigerators and sterilized our entire food supply. Within 2 weeks of throwing away my antacids, drinking the bitter water, and eating fermented cabbage, the fire in my chest went out. The bloating disappeared. My body started actually extracting the iron, the B12, and the protein from my food again. My energy came roaring back. But if you have been watching my videos, you know I never just give you half the truth. You can drink all the apple cider vinegar in the world. You can eat plates of organic sauerkraut, but your stomach will still twist into tight, agonizing knots if you do not fix the other half of the equation. Your gut and your brain are connected by a massive biological highway called the vagus nerve. Your stomach is your second brain. Every single emotion you feel is physically registered in your digestive tract. You cannot digest your food if you cannot digest your life. I had a dear friend named Walter back in the late 1980s. Walter was a brilliant man, but he was deeply, profoundly bitter. He had been betrayed by a business partner 20 years earlier, a man who had stolen a large sum of money from him. Walter never let it go. He talked about it constantly. Every time he sat down to eat a meal, he would start complaining about this man, recounting the betrayal, his face turning red, his jaw clenching. He chewed on his anger every single time he chewed his food. Do you know what happens to your stomach when you are angry, stressed, or holding on to a bitter resentment? Your brain thinks you are in physical danger. It triggers your fight or flight response, and the very first thing your body does in survival mode is completely shut down your digestive system. It pulls all the blood away from your stomach and sends it to your muscles so you can run. Walter was eating expensive, beautiful meals, but his stomach was a locked door. Eventually, the stress and the undigested food tore a literal hole in his stomach lining. He developed a severe bleeding ulcer. For the last 10 years of his life, Walter could not eat anything but plain white rice and boiled chicken. He was terrified of food. He was terrified of pain. But it wasn't the food that destroyed Walter's stomach. It was the toxic, unswallowed rage he refused to let go of. He drank poison for 20 years, hoping the other man would die. Instead, Walter starved his own body of joy and nourishment. How many times have you sat down at the dinner table and swallowed your anger? How many times have you watched the evening news, filling your mind with terror and rage, while simultaneously trying to force your stomach to digest a piece of steak? You are creating your own indigestion. If you want to heal your gut, you have to heal your environment. You have to stop eating your feelings. Make a rule in your house starting tonight. The dining table is a sanctuary. Turn off the television. Put away the glowing screens. Do not discuss politics, do not argue about money, and do not complain about your aches and pains while you are holding a fork. Before you take your first bite, pause, look at the food, take 3 long deep breaths, force your shoulders to drop, tell your nervous system that you are safe, that the war is over, and that it is time to rest and digest. I am 101 years old. I have outlived the doctors who told me my stomach was failing. I eat what I want, but I eat it with a peaceful heart. I embrace the bitter herbs, the sour vinegar, and the traditional foods of my ancestors. I refuse to numb my stomach with artificial chalk and laboratory pills. And most importantly, I refuse to hold onto a single ounce of bitterness in my soul. I let the past go so my body can process the present. Stop treating your stomach like a toxic waste dump for your fake food and your unhealed trauma. Throw away the chalky liquids. Embrace the bitter natural medicines of the earth. Forgive the people who hurt you, sit down in peace, and finally allow your body to absorb the beautiful nourishment of this life. Subscribe to my channel, and do not forget to like and share.